Hey, what's up guys, Master here, come back with a brand new video for you guys. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about Chinese New Year, a little bit about the CSGO hype, and a little bit about some other things. Let's hop on into it. First up, let's talk about that Chinese New Year. Now, Chinese New Year is something that, in my opinion, has been a little bit disappointing in the past couple of years. We're going to be talking about the clutch case in a quick second after a word from our sponsor, XPlay. Have you ever wanted free CSGO skins just by playing the game? Well, with today's sponsor, XPlay, now you can. XPlay is the premier way to earn free CSGO skins in 2023. XPlay offers 15 different ways to earn coins on their servers. Once you get those coins, head on over to the shop where you can redeem it for free CSGO skins. Make sure you're completing your challenges. After a week, you're going to be getting a little extra bonus. And if that's not quick enough for you, they also have a premium feature which gives you 50% more coins along with a free drop from the shop and a little bit extra that you're going to have to find out for yourself. Make sure to sign up with the top link in the description of our XPlay, and let's head back to the video. Alright, so talking about Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year starts in just 2 short days, but the thing is, let's head over to a couple past years, especially talking about the clutch case here. First up, Chinese New Year 2021. You can see here the clutch case was really unaffected by it. Same with the Chinese New Year in 2022. The clutch case went pretty much unaffected by it, and therefore, in my opinion, I can't say necessarily that everything is going to be unaffected by it, because this example was an active duty case. Say let's head over to skins. Let's talk about the AK-47 Redline, one of the most liquid skins in the game. Really saw nothing happen last year because of the actual Chinese New Year. Therefore, in my opinion, I can honestly go ahead and say that I really don't think too much is going to be happening because of Chinese New Year. Sure, unboxing numbers might be up a little bit, but if we head back to the overall estimated number of case unboxings, February 2022, obviously it's a little bit of a shorter month, so you do have to take that into consideration, but it ended up just slightly under January 2022, and if you even out the days, it's pretty much the exact same amount of cases unboxed, and that year the Chinese New Year started on February the 1st, so the first 2 weeks of February, we were technically in the Chinese New Year. Obviously, you're free to draw your own conclusions, but in my opinion, based off the clutch case, the unboxing numbers, and pretty much everything that we've known about the Chinese New Year, I can honestly say at this point, I really don't think it's going to be having much of an effect, and even if it does, it might be a slight uptick in price, very minimal, and in my opinion, not something I would really even say is too relevant at this point. But the Chinese New Year does have one slight upside to it, and that's CSGO Perfect World. Now we're going to be talking for a quick second about a potential update, and this is actually quite interesting. If you didn't know, Chinese CSGO called Perfect World has its own assets in some different areas. You can see here the USPS kill confirmed is obviously a little bit different than what we see here in North America, Europe, and the rest of the world. So it's definitely interesting whenever we see a blog post like this, which basically says that there's some sort of hidden asset, meaning that Chinese CSGO Perfect World is having something that's slightly different. Now, most people instantly go to a skin, but I do want to inform you it could also be a sticker. The CSGO sticker Fragger also is like this, where it's got a different asset for the Chinese Perfect World CSGO. Just something I figure you should be in the know about, but also quite interesting. But now let's get into the fun part, talking about the actual cases that are out there. First up, I want to talk about the breakout case, because the breakout case is pretty much a staple of CSGO investing and CSGO case investing. And the breakout case is on the move. It's actually up a pretty significant amount, honestly, in my opinion, over the past 2 weeks specifically. But if you look at the month graph, it does add a little bit more of kind of a feeling to it. But looking at this for the past 2 weeks, we're up about 20 to 40 cents on average, which is definitely quite nice. Otherwise, we've got some pretty significant movements, one of which is my personal favorite case, which is the Spectrum 2 case. It's up pretty decent, also with the Chroma 3 case. In my opinion, the Chroma 3 case and the Spectrum 2 case both roughly follow a similar pattern. Chroma 3 is up actually a little bit more now, and that could be potentially due to the fact that you've got Chroma 1 and Chroma 2, which are a little bit more desirable than the Spectrum 1. But anyways, those cases are both up, same with the Gamma 2 case. And if you don't notice a trend yet, it's basically all of the non-prime cases that got moved into that rare drop pool. If you don't remember, a pretty significant amount of time ago, CSGO went ahead and it got rid of the non-prime non-prime drop pool. This was actually in 2021, mid-2021. So when CSGO Investing was really starting to heat up, they got rid of this non-prime drop pool, most likely, in my opinion, due to the fact that they probably saw some of their player numbers and overall game numbers being increased by just people who were farming CSGO cases. And honestly, the non-prime drops were usually significantly more expensive than the normal cases, which gave people a lot of reason to go ahead and farm out these non-prime drops. But if we look at the non-prime drops, we've mentioned 3 of them so far. The revolver case has recently hit an all-time high. If you don't remember, I made a video about the revolver case in February of 2021, and I got absolutely flamed for it. And if we come 2 years later, it's actually turned out to be a 16x investment from the time I made that video, maybe 10x if you bought it at 5 cents. But anyways, a pretty significant increase. The other 2 though, the Horizon and the CS20 case, I'm not going to talk too much about that because that's kind of getting into a potentially buying video, but I will say it's very interesting the price differences between the other 4 cases and the Horizon and the CS20. So we talked about the upside of all this case nonsense going on, but let's talk about what's potentially the downside. And the first thing that comes to my mind is this is looking very similar to what we saw exactly 5 months ago with everything that happened in August 2022. And if you don't remember, that was the time we thought we were going to be receiving a major update for CSGO's 10-year anniversary. We thought it was going to be absolutely amazing, and a lot of people stayed involved in the game over the summer, which is something we had never seen before. A lot of prices didn't dip down during that time, which was something that was completely unprecedented, and is why we're kind of in an interesting situation with the market, especially the past 4 months. Now it's kind of leveled out and we're starting to see what we should have seen from the beginning of the winter period. But now it's very interesting because in my opinion, we're starting to see that situation ramp up again due to a couple factors. The first one I want to point out is the YouTube view factor. It's probably not something you think about, but it's something as a YouTuber I look at. Views are a lot more significant now than they were just a month ago. Now this one could be in part due to the fact that in January a lot of YouTubers take a break because the ad revenues that CSGO creators don't get ends up dropping by around 30 to 50%. But the other bigger issue I'm looking at is the fact that we could potentially be on the brink of nothing coming, and I think that's a lot of really hard information for a lot of people to swallow, to realize that there might not potentially be something or any light at the end of the tunnel. It's something that we got over in August. It took a while, and the player counts during that time didn't necessarily suffer majorly, but it wasn't a time where people were excited to be playing the game. Now it's very similar situation. We've got Rio going on, which no one is interested in, which might be a video of its own, but we've got Rio that no one's interested in, which makes the game feel quite stale, and it's something that Valve really can't overcome at this time because, as I mentioned in my previous videos, the map rotations are not ready yet. There's not really any major update, in my opinion, that's kind of ready to be released unless it's Source 2 in the upcoming weeks. Now obviously that's built on the precedent that Valve is going to follow their past strategy, but honestly at this point, if we can't rely on that, I don't really know what we can rely on. But that's pretty much all I have for today. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.